You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
Right, we're back joined with Kathy Caton from the BBC Help Scheme. Kathy, once again, it's good to speak to you and see you here at BRFM.
Thanks so much for having me back again, having me haunting the premises.
Now, I was just wondering if you could refresh our listeners when the switchover is actually happening in our area.
Absolutely. The switchover is really imminent. So the first stage is on Wednesday the 13th. That's when BBC Two disappears off analogue forever and when the power goes up on digital for the first time. And then 2 weeks later is the final stage of switchover. That's when the rest of the channels disappear off analogue and the power on digital goes up to full power, and that makes us, fully digital in the region.
Now, what I've done is, hopefully this makes sense, is our listeners obviously have had different questions and inquiries, and even I've met people when I've been out and about doing interviews who've had sort of questions. So what I've done is put those points and questions together into a series of questions that hopefully are going to cover some of those questions that our listeners have been raising since your last interview. One of the points that's risen is once the switchover happens, will we still have to keep retuning our TVs and Freeview boxes?
The final stage of switchover is on the 27th of June, so that's 2 weeks on Wednesday. Now, it may be that after switchover there might be occasional times when you will need to retune, and generally it's quite good practice actually every few months just to set your kit to retune, because there are new channels being added all the time, and you'll only pick those up if you set your equipment to retune. Now, most people will get a little reminder message when things have been added on, but for everyone else, I just say maybe every 3 or 4 months just retune your kit, because as I say, there are new channels being added all the time, and to pick those up you'll need to retune, but you don't have to. Right. But it's really worth doing. Yeah.
Now, something actually I've seen a lot, and probably now TV listings, and a couple of people have mentioned this to me, is you keep hearing about HD on Freeview. Is this something that's going to be available once the switchover happens in our area?
Yeah, it's one of the real benefits of switchover is that, because at the moment what happens is you've got both analogue and digital signals being squished into the same airspace, and the digital signals are at very low power, so it's only when they go up to full whack that actually then the HD channels will be available. So BBC and ITV have got HD channels, and again they're ones that hopefully as time goes on more broadcasters will bring to air. So yes, HD will be in live and glorious Technicolor post switchover.
Now, Kathy, you're from the BBC Help Scheme. If you're not entitled to help from the scheme, but you still need help because you're not quite sure on what to do, who can you go to?
There's loads and loads of help available, regardless of whether you're eligible for help from the help scheme. Just to do a quick summary, you're eligible for help for the help scheme if you're age 75 or over, if you've lived in a care home for 6 months or more, if you're registered blind or partially sighted, or if you're in receipt of certain disability benefits such as disability living allowance, then you qualify for help from the help scheme. You can just get in contact with the help scheme. You can find all of our details by going to helpscheme.co.uk and take it from there. But for everyone else, there's loads of help available from my colleagues at Digital UK. They're the ones with the little robot who you'll have seen appearing all over the place, and you can get hold of them on 08456 50 50 50, and they can help you with all aspects of switchover, whether it's retuning your kit. One of the great things they do is phone support, so you can have your remote control in one hand, the phone in the other, and they can talk you through the specific instructions for your piece of kit to retune it. So there's loads of help there. We'll also be out and about all over switchover at various road shows, and we've got advice points running at the Kent gateways. Yep. So if anyone accesses gateway services or wants to talk to someone face to face, just pop in and see us at the gateways, and gateway staff have also been specially trained on switchover and will be able to help you with advice as well.
We are at the moment talking to Kathy Caton, and she's from the BBC Help Scheme. We're talking all about the digital switchover in our area. Right, at the moment we're talking to Kathy Caton. She's from the BBC Help Scheme. We're talking all about the digital switchover, which is happening in our area very, very shortly now, actually. And we're going over some of the points and questions that listeners have raised since Kathy last spoke to me. One of the other points that's come across is if somebody has an old Freeview box, is it still going to work after the switchover happens?
Yeah, for most old Freeview boxes, you should be absolutely fine. As a rule of thumb, I'd actually say just wait and see until switchover comes along. Now, there might be some people who perhaps were amongst the first to buy Freeview boxes, and those may not be compatible with the digital signals. So basically, if you're a really keen gadget guru and you whipped out as soon as Freeview boxes became available and got yourself one, then they might be slightly too old to work with digital. The best thing to do though is to call my colleagues at Digital UK on 08456 50 50 50 if you've got a particularly old Freeview box that you're not sure if it's going to work. Just give them the name and the model number, and they can check on. They've got the full list of kits that has issues with switchover, and they can tell you whether or not that equipment will work post switchover. So that would be my advice. Call Digital UK. You can also go to their website, which is digitaluk.co.uk, and the information's there as well. But for most people, if you want to get organised and give them a call in advance, it could be a good idea, or just wait and see. And if you do have any problems with your retunes, it might be that it's slightly too old. It predates the technology.
Now, we keep talking about retuning the Freeview box. Will our listeners have to re-aim their aerial when the switchover happens? Again,
the rule of thumb is to wait and see. If you're getting an okay to good picture now, then for most people that means you'll get a good to great signal post switchover. So for everyone, I would say just wait and see. If your reception is not great at the moment, perhaps your aerial's been there for many years. I know with the amazing weather conditions, they can get corroded, seagulls sit on them, and they don't last forever. If you've got a fuzzy pitch now, or you think there are problems with your aerial, it could be worth getting an aerial installer out to come and have a look at it. But again, wait till after switchover, because the digital signals are going to be so much stronger. It may well be that, and again, for most people, it would resolve any dodgy reception problems that you've been having, should be sorted out by that stronger digital signal. But wait until after switchover. So the 13th and the 27th of June is the last stage. After you've done your retunes after the 27th, if you've got lingering problems, that could be the time to talk to an installer, but wait until then.
Now, one of the things I seem to come across when I'm talking to people is they've probably got their main front room telly switched over, but they often have a portable in a bedroom or a portable in a kitchen. Is there a very easy way, and I suppose a cheap way, that can be switched to digital?
The easiest and cheapest way to switch an older television to digital is to get yourself a Freeview box. Just go to your local high street retailers. Big supermarkets do really quite a good make and model for around the £15 mark. You just connect that to the back of your TV using the SCART socket. If your TV is older than SCART, and if anyone's wondering what those are, they're the kind of oblong sockets in the back of a television with lots of pins in. If you're looking at the back of your TV at the moment and not seeing one of those, don't worry, you should still be able to convert your television, but you'll need to go to a high street retailer and ask for something called an RF modulator, which you can use to convert the signal for your TV. Now, in terms of aerials, if people have got those second TVs in the kitchen or the bedroom wired up to their main aerial, again, just wait and see. You should be fine. If people are using a set-top aerial,
one of those little circular ones,
yeah, exactly that, you can actually get indoor freestanding aerials that are suitable for picking up a digital signal. Again, just go and have a chat, probably to your local high street retailer, because they're really, really knowledgeable about all things switchover. We've been doing loads of work in the region, going around talking to them about it, and just go and ask their advice. But yeah, that would be my recommendation. And certainly, please don't get rid of your tellies if you're perfectly happy with them, because the vast majority of them can be converted for digital. We're just helping a chap down in Whitstable who'd got his TV in the 1950s to watch the coronation on, and we've converted it to digital so he could watch the Jubilee on it. So
pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So and it's still working absolutely perfectly. So just because TVs are a bit older, it doesn't mean you have to get rid of them. In fact, I'd actively encourage people not to, unless of course you've been eyeing up some flat screen plasma something and you've been saving up for it, then absolutely, but you don't need to.
Before you go, Kathy, I was just wondering if you can refresh your listeners when the switchover starts and any useful contact details.
Absolutely. The dates to write in your diary and to ring on the calendar are Wednesday the 13th of June. That's part one of switchover, so that's where you need to retune, because BBC Two disappears off analogue and the power goes up for the first time on digital. Then you've got 2 weeks, so that takes you towards the end of June, 27th of June. That's when you need to do your final retunes. If you're getting your signal off a relay transmitter, so not off a main transmitter, and we use little relays to help bounce the signal around difficult areas of the county, then you might want to leave your retune till slightly later on in the day, after lunch or kind of around tea time, because they can take a bit longer to do the switching over. But so 13th of June, 2 weeks later, retune everything. If you've got a TV that hasn't got Freeview built into it, you need to sort out a Freeview box for it, and you're good to go. Any problems, for general retuning advice or just to check that you're all set, Digital UK are 08456 50 50 50 for the help scheme, which provides all the practical help and assistance that older and disabled people need to make the move to digital. You can give us a call on 0800 40 85 900, 0800 40 85900, or you can go to the website at helpscheme.co.uk and we'll take it from there.
Kathy, once again, thank you very much for keeping our listeners up to date with the digital switchover.
Thanks so much for having me, and I hope the switchover goes well. Thank you.